In the 2 years of owning this frame, I had a vision of how I wanted this ride to look and acquired many parts that fulfill that look. Currently, I have an almost full Suntour group set, except it's made by the companies that actually made Suntour stuff. You see, back in Suntour's heyday, they only made derailleurs, shifters, and freewheels, and everything else was outsourced to other Japanese companies. For instance, brakes were made by Diacomp, cranksets were made by Shimano, hubs were by Sanson or Suzu, but it was made to Suntour's design, so it was actually different from Shimano, Diacomp, Sanson, so on. All of this was sold for less than Shimano, a company that in-housed everything, and worked better than Shimano thanks to a crafty patent on slant parallelogram derailleur design. And it was nice. Anyway, ever since discovering Durian Rider's channel a year ago, for better or for worse, I had a change of heart on what cycling should be about. It should be about spinning, not grinding, function over aesthetics, riding every day, not wall art or collecting or weekend warriorism. This is a sport touring frame, so it should have a triple crankset and a giant 6 or 7 speed freewheel. And most of my components are Suntour Superb Pro level, which means the exact opposite of sport touring. I have Superb Pro brakes, Superb Pro short cage derailleur, Shimano GLP crankset 5342, stuff that looks great in racing by catalogs of old, but very impractical by modern cycling paradigms. So what I decided to do is go forward with installing crankset, brakes, and cable guide clamp. When it's time to get triple ring cranks, I'll have to swap out the bottom bracket spindle, and I don't have the tool, so let's just roll with these cranks for now. Shimano GLPs require a 113mm JIS taper spindle and a socket wrench type crank arm bolt. These covers go on as a nice touch. Examining the distance between the chainstays and crank arms reveals a slight discrepancy. I don't have an exact measurement, but by using my finger as a gauge I'd say 2mm. Not bad. Maybe perhaps the spindle's too long, or maybe my frame's a little out of alignment. Who knows, really? That's the problem when buying used, mismatched stuff. Next, I'm going to put on these brakes. I'm a little leery of putting these brakes on because I don't think they will offer any clearance for the fenders that I'm thinking about getting. Why install something that I might have to take off? Anyhow, there's some good news and bad news. The brakes don't fit. The frame is more old school than I thought, and it requires a longer brake mounting axle with nuts, not recessed sleeve nuts. I can't use them, but it's not a loss to me. Next, I'm going to install this pretty Suntour down tube cable guide clamp. Gently bend it out of shape and put it on. Screw it on tight. Easy peasy. The clamp should be much further down to the bottom bracket. However, using this cable guide clamp puts me in a conundrum. There's no built-in metal guide to bring the cable up to the front derailleur, so it needs cable housing to do it. However, the front Superb Pro shifter features no cable stop. If I were to use this front derailleur, it would require a cable guide stop clamp of some kind before the derailleur. Again, not a loss, really. This does give me an opportunity to get matching derailleurs on eBay and save the racy stuff for a proper future build. In conclusion, this is what I didn't or couldn't get on. It looks like I'm back to eBay. However, this doesn't stop me from taking the frame to my local bike store and having the rear dropout spaced to 126mm. See you next video.